Welcome to Gorge Views, everyone. This is episode number 5, and in this episode, we're going to do some compare and contrast between Niagara Falls and Ellicottville. That might seem weird, but I think it's an excellent exercise that we can all learn some things from. Now, you might ask why. Well, first off, Ellicottville is a destination economy, and it began as what would best be described as a 100-day destination. Ellicottville began as a winter destination, basically a regional ski location, and in a good ski season, you might get 100 days. As a regional location, it was pretty dependent on weekends. That doesn't leave you with a lot of economic opportunity, but it appears that Ellicottville still thrives. Sure, it is really a small town, and it doesn't take much to fuel an economy for a population that size. Niagara Falls, on the other hand, is a much larger city with a lot more going for it, and it's not thriving. Let's check out their website. Fall Adventures, in and around Ellicottville. Wow, I want adventure. That's why you travel. That's why you're looking at Ellicottville to begin with. So I feel like I've landed in the right place, and I feel like, tell me more, website, tell me more. And so it simply does tell me more. Fall alone, the word fall, told me this site is up to date. It's focused on this season, the here and the now. You don't even realize it. You're gaining confidence in the information that you're about to get. It's subtle, but it's an important nuance. It's an important aspect of any travel website. Now scroll past that, they have their motto again. And they claim to be Western New York's playground for outdoor fun and adventure. And judging by the number of Niagara Falls residents that I talk to every week who report having gone to Ellicottville each weekend, I believe them. 20 restaurants, 20 shops, 10 bars, and 2 ski slopes. But of course, those slopes only matter for those 100 days a year. And we know this weekend wasn't one of them, but yet I hear again, it was packed with people. And seems to be packed every weekend, all 52 weeks of the year. They claim golfing, mountain biking, hiking, fishing, paddleboarding. Wow, there's so much to do in Ellicottville. Now, if I wanted to do any of those things, I know I just have to go to Ellicottville to do them. But let's be honest. If we wanted, we can do all of those things right here in Niagara Falls. If we just started doing them well, then you could share them with our millions of visitors each year. And we would start seeing more visitors coming here to do those things during the shoulder months. When we don't see as many visitors, we'd be a little bit more like Ellicottville. We're a destination economy, and we put nothing of ourselves into our destination. Ellicottville, though, they should be proud of themselves. It looks like they have put themselves all into it. Even looking at their events, they boast 12, which is one a month. Looking over their schedule, they have them spaced out in a rather optimal way. They certainly aren't clogging up the winter ski season when they don't need events. They have skiing during those months. They focus on getting more people there when people are less likely to visit a ski town, like the middle of summer. Now they have an advantage because in the middle of summer, people are traveling anyways, so easier to get part of the summer travel market because it's a huge market. But let's be honest, we normally have a lot of events too. We're a much larger town with a much larger tourism market. We, however, have these big events during the busiest time of the year for us, and the busiest part of town during that time, and that is suboptimal. How does that help you grow your market? We need to focus our efforts on the shoulder months, as I discussed in the last episode. I don't want to belabor this point too much by doing a deep dive in Ellicottville. The point is, they have grown their market. It's a town with a population of less than 2,000 people. It doesn't take much to make a difference there. I get that. They also don't have that many people or that many assets to achieve this, but they achieved it. They achieved it by themselves. The point is, they could have spent an eternity living from one ski season to the next and dying by the ski season, much in the way that we now live from one summer to the next. But Ellicottville has built on its strengths. They have the places to stay because they need them in the winter, and they have worked hard to see that they get used as much during the rest of the year as they possibly can. That's smart. Now, who did this for Ellicottville? They did it for themselves. There's another important lesson in Niagara Falls for years and years. I keep hearing people locally say, they should do this, they should do that. Who is they? Seriously, they are not us. They are some government entity, which means we're asking them to tax us to not do what we think they should do for us. That's an absurd, insane course of action. They are often imaginary investors. Real investors invest in proven markets. Until we prove our market to them, they will not invest in us. So we have to stop saying they. We have to change they to we, and we have to change them to us. We need to do things that benefit us. So now that we know for sure who needs to start doing things around Niagara Falls, we need to start working on the what, when, where, and how. We need to play to our strengths, and we need to build our market. As my last episode spoke to, one strength we have is our hiking trails. They're way better than Ellicottville's, although they brag about their trails. They brag about their hiking, and they should. They got a good hiking, but ours is better. And other people are promoting it for us in a very poor way. We should be promoting ourselves way better. Let's think about it. According to a lot of other hiking websites, Ellicottville's not even mentioned, and we're rated as #1 in New York State. We're top in the country, if not the world, particularly for fall foliage hiking. So that's a strength. Here's what Gorge View proposes. We have about a year to plan it. And we can do it. We, you, me, us, we can do this. The biggest fall festival in all of Western New York. All of October, from the 1st to the 31st, with a ton of activities. Personally, I want to go for the best fall festival in the Western Hemisphere, but let's just start off with Western New York. It's the digital age, and photography and videography are king. There's no better time to take pictures here than in October. We have all the normal majesty of the falls, but we have fall color. We have bird migrations. If we add to that lots of action, lots of activities, we'll be providing photographers all the subject matter they could dream of, all in one location. If we make part of the judging of the photo contest all through October a social media-based judging, then we get those photographers sharing us with the world during our best. That's a lot of free promotion. If there's one thing I've learned about photography doing this show, it's that photography is all about light. So 1,000 photographers competing in multiple competitions like a photo derby for 1 month, that's nice, but it's only 1K visitors. Our target should be a month with 10K or more people in town every single day. Sell out our hotels every single day in October. Pack our restaurants every single day in October. And let's make a bunch of money printing t-shirts and souvenirs and a bunch of other stuff. It should not only be the largest, longest, most varied photo competition in the world. There should be football tournaments, baseball tournaments, golf tournaments. There should be food contests. Not only should there be the best pumpkin pie, but the best pumpkin pie eating contest. And it shouldn't just be pumpkin, it should be apple and peach. You get the picture. But it shouldn't just be our local fruits, but it could be our pizza, it could be our wings, it could be our Italian, and so on. Every day for 31 days, a cooking and eating contest. There should be music, and there should be dancing, and we should see races. An Ironman marathon, a marathon, half marathon, bike race, kayak race, I don't care. Let's compete. Let's bring people from these niche little groups here all for the month of October. And it sounds like a lot, but there's still over 40,000 of us, and plenty of organizations in the city and probably even in the county that will help us organize parts of this to bring it all together. Once we have a good plan and bring it all together, the national news should be covering it. It should rival Munich's Oktoberfest. And what we don't get right the first year, we improve on for the next year, and the year after, and the year after. It gets better and better and better as you build up to it. I doubt Munich's first Oktoberfest was anything like last year's Oktoberfest. They actually canceled this year's Oktoberfest, sadly, way back in April. So no 2020. Let's beat them in 2021. Let's be the best in the world. Why not? We can do this. Now, next year, the only reason one should go to Ellicottville from Niagara Falls in October is because they just need some peace and quiet for a few days because it's just so intense here. Every park in town should be hosting something every day. Am I thinking too big? Or have we just been thinking too small? But wait, I have more. The point of next year's Fall Festival is not just having the biggest October festival in America, but somewhere along the way, we're going to have to plan our Spring Festival and promote that. Now, I think spring's too close for us, and there's a lot going on, and COVID still has a lot of doubts for us. But spring 2022, we ought to start planning for. So as soon as we get this Fall Festival kind of rolling, all the planning going, let's start thinking through how we're going to promote our Spring Festival in 2022 during our Fall Festival 2021. Am I crazy? If you don't think I'm crazy, then share this video now, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more details in the coming weeks. Now, for those of you who doubt we can do this, those who doubt the simple notion of bringing 1,000 photographers from all over the world to Niagara Falls during October, well, just Google photo contests. We have sunrises, we have sunsets to be captured over land and water. That's 4 different contests right there. We have a variety of landscapes to capture. The upper river, the gorge, the lower river. Throw in Lake Ontario, so long as it's Niagara County. You can even go out to the lighthouse at Golden Hill State Park. You can use a canal as a topic. We can do mundane urban streets. We have plenty of those. That's also a known category in photo competitions all over the world. We can do single buildings. We can do single trees. We can do select buildings. One contest for the Giacomo. One contest for the building at DeVoe Wood State Park. Best fall shot. Best rapid shot. Best goose photo. Best squirrel photo. Best black squirrel photo. Every day, a different theme, all culminating in a weekly grand prize for best photo of the week and best photo at the end of the month. This sort of event, you get big companies to sponsor prizes for, like Sony, Canon, Nikon, to name a few. It's not just a daytime activity, but much of the landscape is a nighttime thing too. I mean, I can take this photo in the day, or I can take this photo at night. It's 2 different subjects to be sure. But we'll be having the food contest, so you'll have the best apple pie photo, best football photo, best baseball photo. Well, pardon the pun, but you get the picture. You can have the best photo of people taking a photo. Bottom line is that when we make part of the judging occur via social media, you have all of these great shots going all over the world, making people think about us and see us at our best and think about coming at a time when they normally don't come here. And when they come here in October, because we brought them here in October, we tell them why they really need to come next April or early May. And that's how we start building a better future for ourselves, building our own market, and turning they into us, or we, and them into us. So that's how we turn they into we and them into us. Let's take charge of this destiny. Let's start thinking about this. Let's start discussing this. And let's start planning it soon. Because frankly, I've been here 7 years. And when I got here 7 years ago, I'm like, wow, this should turn around real soon. And a lot of people who didn't spend 25 years away like I did were looking at me like I was crazy, saying, Jeff, you just don't understand. We've been thinking this for 15 years now, 10 years now, 5 years. I've thought it for the last 5 years. And I'm like, yeah, but look, this is happening, that's happening, and the newspaper article, and this and that and the other thing. You know, and 7 years later, I hate to admit it, but a lot of those people can rightly tell me they told me so, that it's not going to change in the way I expect it to change. But I see the mistake. I see why. I didn't work to change it. I expected they to do it. Well, I'm on board now. You on board with me? Like I said, subscribe, like the YouTube channel, comment in the comments on the YouTube channel. Let's start having this discussion. Which organizations do you think should get involved right away? How do we form a steering committee? Who needs to be on that steering committee? How are we going to break this up? Going back to episode number 1 when I talked about planning principles, trust me, I'm going to start planning this in a very systemic, very well thought out, very military manner. I'm going to need help translating that back to civilian language so that civilians feel more comfortable with the terminology and the steps and the vision. But we're going to do this, Niagara Falls. Thanks for listening to this episode. Stay tuned for more. Next October, set your clock, 11 months to go.